shake it when I come live. Why is it so warm? It is warm. Okay. Now how? Welcome in everyone. Happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving for those of you celebrating. How is everyone doing today? Welcome back in. It's been a couple of weeks I haven't been on here. I know. But I am here now. That's what matters. I am here now. I hope you all are enjoying um the vibe, the season. It's such a beautiful time of the year. This is my favorite time of the year just because I get a lot of gifts. I give a lot of gifts as well. I give a lot of love, and you get to relax and have fun. It's just a beautiful time of the year. The winter, the torrid winter notwithstanding. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. Today's video title is Let the Man Impress You. A man must impress you if he wants you. Alright, that's the title of today's video. A man must impress you if he wants you. I do not know how many of you heard of saw the video on social media of this young lady. She's American and she is a black. I think she's African American or Nigerian American. I'm not quite sure. It wasn't a story that I wanted to really get close to just because of how toxic it was to my spirit. So I tend to shy away from things like that because if I venture close and I feel the toxicity or the story is just too heavy for my spirit, I just distance myself from it. And that's what happened with this story. But I do want to touch on this story. This young lady, quite pretty young lady, right? Slender, pretty, in every right really. Good looking. And she, according to her, she had two jobs. And she met this quote and unquote European prince. He was a European prince, according to him and her. And she fell for this guy. And before you know what, she started spending her life savings on this young man. And when I say spending her life savings on this young man, it was not just $100 or $200. It went into thousands and thousands until it got to 300,000. What if I want to dissect that story, her story? It would take months, all right, or endless months of video or live streaming. But that's not the energy we want to portray here. That's not the energy we have on this channel. So we're not going to give you a lot of thought or energy, but I just wanted to touch on it because the desperados that are most frustrating to encounter are the ones that are actually pretty and are actually leveled up and still have not done the mental work, right? Because it's a wholesome journey, if you like. It's not just about looking good, it's also about your mindset and how much you love yourself. But clearly this young lady does not love herself enough, right? She does not love herself enough. For example, at the beginning of the story, she says how this young man wanted to impress her and took her to Cartier, right, for shopping. And she said she only picked an item of $200 or £200, so 250 anyway. And for who goes to Cartier and picks an item of £200 or $200? That's the most ludicrous thing I have heard. But when I look at the whole story, this entire story, what I got from it was that she wanted to make this young man think she was wife material, that she didn't need much, that she was not she wasn't materialistic. So she wanted him to see her in a good light, according to her, from how she's portrayed herself. And it's unfortunate, but she is still the same. All right, she's come out and narrating her story and this, but she has not taken responsibility for what she did, the role she played in being in playing herself like a fool, like a desperado, like a dumpster woman, letting this young man. She was going for spec. Again, this is what I say. Grown women do not have spec. Grown women who want to win do not have spec. They are not hung up on the idea of spec, because they know that's just a silly excuse of some young impressionable woman to misbehave and to, roll around and have eat snacks with Doomstar and Brokies. It's just what it is. They keep going on and on about spec, because when you look at her story, when you listen to this young woman's story, it's really about the young man. It's never about her. She's always the one giving, trying to impress, showing him off on social media, calling all sorts of names. Heck, she literally paid for her own wedding or engagement. Those are not signs of someone who loves themselves. So, ladies, if you want to win, you must let the man impress you. A man who wants a woman is always ready and willing to impress her, because it's by impressing her that she gets to choose him as the one she wants to be with, or the one she wants to be committed with, or the one she wants to hang around with. All right. But when you do not let the man impress you because you don't feel worthy, either because you have not leveled up or you don't feel like physically you match up to the women around you or the women that are around in his life, then you are going to continuously sell yourself short. All right. You will continuously sell yourself short. And when you make certain choices, like putting a man first, you will always regret. You will always be the loser. And some losses are worse than other ones. You can hear her loss was 300,000 just from her. The funny part of that story is that she wasn't just the one giving money to this young man. Her parents were giving money to him. Her friends, spouses. It's like they were cursed. It was like they were under a curse. Some sort of, voodoo was controlling them. But it's not voodoo. Some people come from a family where it's just utter stupidity, all right? I think for her, that was the case. Like, total and utter stupidity where it's just generational. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be rude. I just have to say the way it is. It's just generational stupidity, because how can a family meet a man who, quote unquote, wants to marry their daughter, and the next thing they're dishing money out to this young man who is supposedly a prince? What part of the word, what part of the word prince means lack? What part of the world does a prince need to be assisted financially? Make it make sense. So this young woman, so impressionable, but she is a depiction of so many of you women. So many of you do not bother to do your homework. You do not bother to qualify this man. Any man who comes to you, whatever he says, you take it as God's honest truth. How is that even possible in this time and age where you just have to go on Google and type in the search engine and type in your question and answers will come up? How do you still let yourself be fooled in that way? So the problem with not letting a man impress you is that see, I have to say this. Make no mistake. When two people meet, there must be someone playing the role of the wooer. All right, there must be someone doing the pursuing, the wooing. So if you're not letting the man pursue you and impress you, it means you are doing the pursuing. Listen, when two people meet, there's an energy that's going around. There's an energy. There is a power statement. Okay, usually it's always the woman who is making that power statement by deciding what she wants. For example, if a man says, let's go on a date, the woman asks him, where are you taking me? If you do not ask, it means you've put the power in his hands, and you are saying, without saying, you're saying that take me wherever you want. I'm easy. all right? And I don't know about some of you, easy for you may be good, all right? So I'm not saying do not be easy. If that's what you aim to, you intend to get from that relationship or that connection, then by all means get on with it. But if you watch my channel, you will know that when a man and a woman meet, as there's an exchange. The exchange is the man who says, I want to get to know you. And you say, okay, I would like to get to know you too, but here are my standards. First of all, I don't go for coffee dates. Second of all, I don't meet people and start snacking with them. I have expectations. And you say that either verbally or with your actions. All right. So when a man meets you and asks you out for a date, he is the one asking. That is why the man is always the one who comes to a woman and asks to get to know her. All right. It's not the other way around. Again, that's why I am so averse and opposed to a woman approaching a man. For me, it's a no-no. A feminine woman does not walk up to a man and say, hello, what's your name? I'd like to get to know you. Because the moment you do that, already you have swapped the roles. You have put the power, you've made him the feminine one. You've said, you know what? I will wear the big boy trousers. I will wear the knickers and I'll let you wear the skirt. I don't care how you see it. That's what you do. A woman who thinks she's woke enough to walk up to a man and approach him and ask him for his number and ask him for a date, that's all you do. You automatically swap the role. You say to him that I want to be the man, you do be the woman. Sit pretty, I'll look after you, I'll do the hard work. That's what it is. All right. So trying to impress a man or going out of the way to do too much to impress a man when a man comes your way is a desperado move. It will always be a desperado move. I remember my grandmother, God rest her soul, told us a story that when she was growing up, she had so many suitors, and when they came, she would just, if she didn't like them, she would just speak to them and take all their gifts, because when they came into the compound of her father's compound, there were so many blocks there. So her mom's block was at the tail end. So once they came, they would be received into the house, and then the gifts they brought will be received and taken away from them, and then they'll show them the seating area. And when they came and she didn't like them, she would just turn around and sit with her head upside down and her feet up on the wall. And she'd be looking at them from that upside down position. And after a few minutes, they'll just know that that's a no. That's not the right body language, and they'll leave. But they don't have left the gifts with her. What I'm saying is, it's always the man who comes after the woman, and the sole decision of saying yeah, of accepting or refusing, rests entirely on the woman. But when you decide to swap that role, when you decide to relinquish that role, if you relinquish that role to the man, he becomes the one who decides and not you. But naturally, the woman is a decider. The woman decides who she commits with to. That's why when a man comes, he goes down on a knee and says, will you marry me? Will you spend the rest of your life with me? You can say no. You can say no. So make no mistake, it's always the woman choosing. It's always the woman who chooses to either say no or to say, you know, yes, I accept. You have impressed me enough. You've proved yourself right. You've proved yourself responsible. You've proved yourself a provider. You've proved yourself a problem solver. You've proved yourself loyal and bankable. So yes, I will be your girlfriend. Or yes, I will be your fiance. Yes, I will marry you. Yes, I'll be the mother of your children. Yes, I'll be your companion and do life with you. And when he approaches you and says, I want to get to know you, and after the first day, you're not impressed enough, you say, you know what, I don't think we're on the same page. But what you're doing is that you are never discouraging him from pursuing you. You're never wanting him to not see you as a woman who likes what you like. Because the thing is, a relationship, the closer a man and a woman get, the less active a man is prone to become in terms of doing the wooing job, the impressing job. So if from the get-go you lower the bar and you make him think that, no, I don't want nice things, then trust me, by month 2 or 3, you will be, the best you'll be having would probably be a delivery or Uber Eat at home, or you'll be doing all the cooking, you'll be cleaning, he'll probably moving with you. Because you already have put him there. Oh no, I'm not one of those girls. I don't need much. I don't need anything from you. Oh, you make me feel a certain type of way when you put desperado. That's a basic move. And that's for basic girls, the ones who know that they cannot pull. If they make their needs, if they want to let a man impress them, he will leave. They're worried. What if he doesn't impress me? What if he feels I'm asking for too much? What if he, it's always about the man. It's rarely about them. So when women like this speak, the first thing you hear and notice from them is that it's always about the man. Oh, what if he does not feel comfortable? What do you mind about his comfort? You're not his mother. What do you care about how comfortable he is? Your job is not to make him comfortable. Your job is to bring out the best in him, to prove himself worthy of you. That's your job. Let that man, let a man impress you. And a man who likes you, who wants you for the right reasons and is in his masculine, will impress you. Men, they revel, they just bask in the opportunity to impress a woman. That's why when you see a beautiful woman walking down the street, and if she drops something accidentally, if there are 3 men around, all of them would try, lock hers trying to pick up the item she's dropped to give it to her. Why? Because they want to impress her. They want her to know that they're problem solvers. They want her to know that I can do it. I can fend for you. That's been the age-long mantra of a man. A man who can provide. I am capable. I can keep a woman. I can provide for a woman. I can care for a woman. I can satisfy you. They take pleasure in those things. So if you think you're incapable of letting a man impress you, or if you think that the men who come around you are not attempting to impress you, check yourself, look inward. What is it you're doing that is is not allowing the man to impress you? Look at yourself. Are you well put together? How do you dress? Are you one of those girls that once a man says hello to you, you then start, revealing all of your life stories, all of your life history, and after 3 days they already have access to you, your body, and everything that concerns you? Because that could be also the reason. Because you know what, no one likes easily accessible stuff. Free things are never valued. No. Making a mistake. Nobody. A man will tell you that, oh, I like an easygoing girl. That's because they're there to just snack and move. They're there to go in quickly, get out quickly. And they rush you, and you foolishly let them. Why? Because you're so basic, you're so desperate, and you're worried that if he does not stay, then what? What if he stays? If he stays and he's of no importance to you, what does that make you? He becomes a burden. Imagine you, a woman, keeping or going about with a man who has no use to you, a full-grown ass man who is just a burden, a dumpster. He has no use to you. And you're better off having yourself to yourself, keeping yourself to yourself, just having no such burden of a grown man around you who cannot pull weight, who cannot show up. So a man will impress you if you demand it, right? If you yourself have leveled up and kept yourself in a particular level, a particular standard, where the first time he encounters you, he knows this one I have to come correct, and it's the way you present yourself, how you dress, how you look, how do you make how's your hair, how do you speak, how do you relate with other people, how do you love yourself, because it will show via your appearance. And if he does not get the memo through your appearance, that is what all put together, then you simply ignore him. That's it. You simply do not give him a moment of your time. But the truth is, you have to be ready and willing to say no to people and be willing to ghost men. You cannot take everything that comes to you on board. What are you, a bin? What are you, a flight tipping place? No. So many are called, but very few are chosen. And I kid you not, so many men will come to you in a day or in a week or in a month or in your lifetime. But you have to be absolutely strategic and methodical about how you pick and choose them. For every relationship or every man you decide to hang around with or to be with, there must be a benefit for you. Otherwise, why you be with the man? We all know why he's coming to you. We all know why a woman comes for a woman. What a man comes for a woman for. He approaches you. He might tell you, oh, I saw you. And immediately I thought, I've seen my wife. It's a lie. He's saying all of those lies because he wants to get you. And in the short, he wants to eat snacks. And whatever he's going to tell you to make you give up those snacks quickly, he's going to say it. Okay? So no, make no mistake. No man says a woman immediately, I want to marry her. It's a lie. When a man says a woman, regardless of what that relationship will end up being, when he first encounters that woman, the first thing that comes to his mind is snacks. He wants to have snack with you. He wants a snacking session with you. And if you let him have that snacking session without doing anything for you, darling, that's it. And so that's why when a lot of women say, oh, well, I did what you said, but he ghosted me. No, you didn't. You didn't. And then I asked them, what did you do? We went out on a date. And then the second day, he was being nice. He was being nice by doing what? See, a lot of you women surprise me. A lot of you here surprise me when I hear things like a man is being nice. And I ask, how was he being nice? And it's because he called. I'm like, are you that idle? Are you that desperate that a call will make you think, pick up your phone and call yourself? If you're so in need of getting a call, if that is an act that will make you give up the snacks, then there is something torturously wrong with you. I'm serious. And I'm saying this with all the love and respect, but I need it to sink in that when you say things like a man was being nice and your definition of nice is that definition of nice is that he was calling you after a day. Of course, he's deciphered you. Probably you went to that first day and you spoke heaven and earth about how all the men you've been around with, how all the men, your ex was never in calling, he didn't show any commitment. You basically gave him the blueprint on how to play you to get the snacks. So 3 days or a week afterwards, after the first day, he's just going to keep spamming you with those calls and text messages. After every 20 heartbeats, he's going to text you, hi babe, you all right? One day and you're already babe. And you're thinking, oh, I have heat, pay there. Oh, I have landed a good one, God sent. No, he's not God sent. He's desperado infused. You cooked that man. You gave him the blueprint on how to play you. So he's going to do that. He's just going to keep doing that. And you, the next time he meets you, probably he's gonna say, do you wanna come to my place? Let's just Netflix and chill and talk. Ah, you know what, yeah? Sometimes I think you ladies are so incredibly just clueless. Like that tale is the oldest tale from the player's handbook. Every woman, even the 16-year-old girlies know the style of come home, let me cook for you. You still are still falling for this dumb story of a man saying, come home, let me cook for you. And you believe it. And you take yourself to that man's house and he orders Uber Eats for you and you snack with him. And then you're surprised why he's no longer picking your call. So after snacking you with that night, the next day he doesn't call. And then you're sat there by the phone, dazed and shook that this man's not contacted you today. And you think, oh, maybe his phone was snatched by dragonflies at night. Maybe vampires dropped into his apartment and squashed, took his phone from him. Maybe he was burgled. You come up with all the basic stories in your head as to why this man's not called. He's not called because he's got what he wanted and he's moved on. And you still do not get this, you do not get the memo. A lot of you still come back asking, how can I get him back? Get him back for what? Why do you want to get this basic out and back? Was he done? See, the man who tries to get a woman back, he does that for one reason. That woman has made him invest in her. That's the only reason. All right? That's the woman who she does not need to go ask, how do I get a man back? Because he has invested financially, emotionally. I mean, the truth is, a man will always put his mouth where his money is. So if he's invested his finances, he's not going to wake up one day and just zoom off like that. And that is why the woman is always that woman, that leveled up woman who has standards and who is willing to wait for that man who is willing to impress her. She's not going about asking, how do I get him back? But for you women, check. So many of them, when they come and ask me, right, how do I get him back? And I ask, what is it about him that makes you want to have him back? There's nothing. 90% of the time, there's no reason. They can't like straight up say this is the reason why I want him back. And if there's a reason, trust me, it's the most fickle and stupid reason that they want him back. It's either they felt good when they were with him, which means he looked better than them, and they wonder why he's ghosted them. All right? Or because they think this S is good. Or they say something like, he's my spec. He understands me. Communication is good. I'm like, but girl, bye. Communication, you are the communication. You're the one who makes the communication good. And you can replicate that a million times if you want to. So just because communication was good, it's in your head. And about spec, again, I will say it. The women who get hung up on spec are the ones who are basicers. They're desperados. They want to be about these boys who wear jeans and put it down below there. They just want to be around a young boy. And those boys, most of the time, are going 50-50 with them at the most. Shocking, isn't it? Sometimes I'm like, make it make sense. Your spec is a burden. How can your spec be a burden? And they say, throw words out there like, I think he's my soulmate. Why? Why do you think he's your soulmate? Because I felt good when I was with him. Of course you felt good. You felt good because you thought you was a boy who you can be on Instagram and Honestly, you guys, you know what? I am exhausted with women repeating these stories and these patterns and not learning and not sitting back to take a retrospective look. But I am here to tell you, the man who invests stays. The man who impresses you stays. The man who impresses you respects you. Because the less he does to get to you, the less he'll value you. Make no mistake about it. The more he does to get you, the more he will value you. And the less, and the reverse is also the case. Okay? So when you are a basicer and your mindset is a poverty mindset and it's that supporting character mentality, you are always worried about, if I do this, he might go. So there's so many men out there. Why are you so worried about this one that you don't know anything about, who has not done anything, and who is going to leave? Leave because you have made a request, because you said you don't want coffee. You want a brunch instead. You want a date, a proper, well-made reservation date. Why are you worried about that? Because if that is too much for him, then I wonder what you think you're going to get from that relationship. I always think that these things are so easy to understand, yet it's so baffling when women make a big deal out of it, and because they keep asking questions. How? So what? If I let him go, so what? If you let him go, so what? You're leveled up. You you look after yourself. You love yourself. You know what you deserve. So you go out there again, right? If you want a job, let's say, take for example, you want a job. You've trained for this job. You've got all the necessary requirements and you're eligible for this role you're looking for. And you put out your resume, you've been to interviews. If you get offered a job that is not that role, does not pay as much as that role, would you accept it? No, because all the past 6-7 months you've been preparing for this role. This is the role you want. You are eligible for this role, so you will not accept anything that's beneath that role. Why? Because that's not what you want. So you go on, you keep applying for that role in other places. You keep on applying, you keep on attracting and manifesting that job and waiting and loving yourself and knowing that that job will come. It's only a matter of time. There's no difference when it comes to a man. If Mr. A comes and he's not ready, let him go. If it's not what you want, let him go. That's another thing. You women have to learn to let men go. Learn to let men go. There's no reason to hold on to something that is of no importance and no use and no benefit to you. Because as a woman, if you're still not looking at a man, your value for a man should be based on how beneficial he is to you. Does this man care about the same things you care about? Is he a problem solver? When you tell him about issues you're facing, does he move to solve it? Does he change them? Does he always come to the rescue? That's how you know. And if he's doing none of that, why are you attaching any sort of importance to this man? Right? Why are you attaching any sort of importance to a man who cannot pull weight, a man who cannot show himself worthy of being attached to a woman? Because as far as I'm concerned, if a man cannot provide, he has no reason to want to be with a woman. Because a woman is an expensive human being. It's like a man who cannot provide for a baby wanting a baby. Who's going to feed the baby? Right? So, again, I get women ask me desperate questions and basic questions like, so can a woman not see a man and like a man want to be with him and look after her own self? So what do you need a man for? What do you need a man for? If you can look after yourself, and yes, a lot of women, we can look after ourselves. Why do you need a man? What's the purpose of his being in your life? Again, a lot of you don't know. Just because you want the name of having a man. Society has made you think that a woman is incomplete until she has a man. A woman is not fulfilled until she has a man. No, that's not true. A man is not fulfilled until he has a woman. And he who finds a woman, a good wife, finds something good. It says find. It does not say. It means he's looking. You only find something when you're looking for it. And that's again what I said. You don't go looking for this man. They look for you. You attract them by being gorgeous, by being put together, by leveling up. You just exude that femininity and you attract them. You're not pursuing them. They are coming after you. They are asking you if they can take you out for a day. It's not the other way around, right? So, when a man wants you, the first thing you will notice is that he would want to impress you. He will be out there impressing you. Not by words, by actual deeds. That's another thing. A lot of you get words mixed up with action. A lot of you do not understand that words are just that, words. And they're cheap. Everyone who has a mouth can spew words. I mean, money talks. BS runs the marathon. Words are just words until they're backed up with action. So when I talk about a man impressing you, I'm not talking about a man picking up the phone and calling you every morning, texting you, oh, how are you doing, sweetie? I dreamt about you. I wish I was in that under that blank, that duvet with you. I wish I would. Nope, that's not it. That's never it. Because everyone can do that. Even the 16-year-old lads out there can do it. And I believe they'll do it. So a grown man walking up to you and wanting to know you, calling you every day after the first or second date is not impressive. There's nothing impressive about that. Except if you're 16 or 17, you're a teenager and that sort of thing still floats your boat. Otherwise, so it's so easy to know. It's so easy to know a man who wants to impress you. Because after the first date, what transpires between that date? Even at that first date, what does he do? How does he comport himself? How does he present himself and his case of wanting to know you? You bring flowers. You bring a gift. What has he done to impress you? Was he done to show that this is a man who wants this woman to think of him as a man worth a second thought? Because yes, okay, you invite her on a date and she goes. She comes, she shows up beautiful, all glammed up and dressed up, and you show up, you have a nice meal and you pay, and she goes back home. Basic. That's the barest minimum. That's what every other man does. What is it that he does differently? Show that he wants this woman. Because while you are getting to know each other on the first date, you must have said a few things that you like about your interests, your hobbies. Does he listen to it and go and think, let me do this nice thing to impress her, to make her know that I was listening to the conversation whilst we were talking on the first day? That is how a man acts. That's how a man who wants you to think of him as special or as different. That's how he acts. He gives you experiences. He wants you to be surprised pleasantly. He gives you memories that will stay with you, so that whenever those memories cross your mind, whenever the memory of that time you had with him come up, you smile and you remember him. That is it, right? So if he likes you, if he likes you and wants you, he will impress you. So and again, I say this, men are, a lot of you are listening to a lot of podcasts. Social media now exists, so everybody has a microphone. Everyone speaks it and spills out a lot of nonsensicality, is what I'm going to call it. But a man who is grown and in his masculine is not going to see and expect a woman to bring, that question they ask, what do you bring to the table? What table? Let me ask you a question. Who in their house has a dining table, like I have got here, and has no chairs, has no runner on the table, does not have a vase, does not have any table decorations, and when he's got a guest or when he invites someone to come have a meal for them, he asks them, or they ask the guest, what did you bring? Did you bring any table runner? Did you bring any candles for the table? Who does that? No one. So when you people, I have never heard that. I've never encountered or even heard anyone say that in close proximity to me or to anyone that I know. But I hear on social media, I hear talks about women being asked things like, "What do you bring to the table?" It means that that person is in themselves are incomplete, so they have no business wanting to go after a woman. Because if your table is incomplete and you need the person you are going after to come make your table complete, to come make it, usable, then you have not begun. You need to go back and sort your table out. When you're done sorting out that table as a man, then you can go out there and seek a woman. Until then, calm down, calm to her. Because it's just unthinkable that you will have a table and you will wait for someone who you have invited to come dine with you or lunch with you to bring candles and cutlery and a runner and decorations for the dining table. It doesn't make sense. So if you do not have a table that is set yet, do not go inviting guests to the table. Don't invite her. It's that easy. But still, a lot of you get so confused and you ask me, what should I say when they ask me what I bring to the table? And I'm thinking, how old are these men you lot are going about with? How old? Where do you find them from? Because it is just alarming. All of it is alarming. What I ask myself, how does the conversation get to that place? How do they look at you? How do you present yourself? What do you look like when they ask you this question? Because, goodness me, you must be looking like you are in tatters for a man to just look at you and ask you, what do you bring to the table? What led to that question? Ask him if he has got a table. Why does he need a guest to bring cutlery? Because it means his table is not incomplete. So give him a piece of advice. Tell him, if you need a guest to come to your table and bring cutlery, then your table's not ready yet. Get your table sorted, and when you're done, then you can go seeking guests, but do not invite a guest to your table. And that is so important, because a woman, you're not the one going after this man. He is the one coming after you. You get to decide if you want this man. It is always in our hands. All right. So if he comes, you can say, yes, I will get to know you, or no, I will not. So if he comes to you and then turns around and asks you, what do you bring to the table? I'm thoroughly confused. Really. It's like you have a child and then you ask the child, what are you contributing to the house? The child didn't ask you to have them. You had the child. So it's your responsibility to look after the child. That may not be the most accurate of examples, but you get the vibe, the gist. Hmm? The woman didn't come after you. You came after her. You trying to impress her. You're saying, I want you to come and be part of my world, which means your world is capable of having this feminine, beautiful, leveled up woman in it. So your world must be able to cater to this woman. And the list to have her and make her feel good, make her smile without toxic conversations, without feminine conversations from feminine men who do not know what being a man is. A lot of these men don't know. They think just because their gender is masculine, they are a man. But no. Right? So you must, first of all, decide for yourself if you want a man to impress you, because it is a decision. And when you make that decision, so many things, it's like a trickle down effect. So many things happen and they just flow down to that, and they morph into something beautiful for you. But first of all, you must be leveled up. You must have that self-confidence, that self-love, that self-belief, knowing that you deserve to be cared for. You deserve a man who wants to impress you. All right. Otherwise, after the first one goes, you're going to start thinking, oh, maybe he was right. You know what? Maybe I'm asking for too much. Yes, Basica, you're asking for too much because you're so used to being too little. The mere idea of having some standards scares the heck out of you. That is a basic thought. That is the most desperado-ish trait of a woman who cannot wait for a man to impress her because she's so scared. Why are you so scared? Because you're going to lose him. Why are you scared of losing him? What's he done? What's so good about him that you don't want to lose him? First of all, you don't have him. It's the illusion that you have him is that you spend time that you should be doing better things, results oriented things, and you spend it talking to him. So you have that false feeling of closeness to a man who has done nothing apart from call you on the phone with free Wi-Fi, probably Wi-Fi from his friends or mother's house. You don't need to analyze everything you do. You must get to that point where you analyze, you break down, you have a reason for everything you do. Because if you go about behaving without purpose, you will get no results. You will get no purpose. Because everything that comes your way is going to be okay. You're going to settle. You're going to accept it. Because they say things like, oh, I don't deal with women who are gold diggers. Huh? You don't have any gold, sir. What's she going to dig? What will you be digging, love? Dumpster? Toxicity? Splitting bills? That's all you'll be digging. And by the way, I have a live stream coming up. Gold digger is a compliment, if you know what it means. It means you have standards. It means not everything goes. It means you're so selective about the men that you go about with. It means you're very particular about the men you allow into your space. So gold digger is a compliment. Some of these words that I use to qualify you are compliments, but you don't see it that way. What is the opposite of a gold digger? It's a woman who just takes everything, who will broke it, a man who has no importance to her, but she's just with him for whatever reason, right? So learn to see things for what they are. Gold digger is not an insult. As a matter of fact, it is indeed a compliment. It is indeed a coveted title. Not everyone can wear it because a lot of you are even too, you lack self-confidence. You're too insecure to even admit that you want a man to provide for you or to impress you, because you're still worried about what he will think, what they will think. What do you care about what anyone thinks as a grown woman? How about what you think? How about you form thoughts of your own? You form opinions of your own about yourself, because those opinions are the most important ones. So what do you think about yourself? What do you think about the men you've been with? What do you think about the men you allow into your space? I know that women who have standards, they always win. They have less complications in their lives. They just have life easier. And people think it's luck. A lot of people say things like, oh, she's so lucky. It's not luck. It's called determination. It's called being self-aware, being self-centered, having goals and having purpose and strategy, and not and being willing, being able to say no without second thoughts. Oh, thank you, sir, but that's not for me, but thank you for offering. Oh, how kind of you, but I'll pass. All right. Some people, ordinarily, some people don't even merit to be in your company. They do not merit to spend a minute with you in person. If you are able to do away with all those what ifs, and you focus on yourself and what you want for yourself, they won't be able to come into your space. They won't even be able to have the privilege of being in your presence or spending time with you physically, right? So you need to first of all think about what you want. And what you want is a man who will stay, right? You want a man who will pull weight, who will make his presence felt. And the only way you can do that is from the get-go. Any man who comes into your life, you let that man impress you. You let him show you what he's made, what he's capable of bringing to the table. All right? Otherwise, you are just going to keep recycling dumpsters. You're going to keep recycling brokies in every shade and color and tone. So learn to let a man impress you. And if he cannot impress you, that's the barest minimum a man can do. That's the barest and the least he can do is to impress a woman he's meeting for the first time, he's meeting and who wants to get to know. So it's not asking for heaven on earth. It's simply saying, show me what you're capable of. Show me why you deserve to have me as a woman in your life, right? And yes, a lot of them will go. Some will go, depending on the sort of crowd you draw into your life. They will go, but it just makes your life easier, because you're not going to have to dress and glam up and go and spend time with rubbish. You can dress and glam up and create content or read or study a free course online or enroll yourself into some fun hobby or craft or whatever, or start a business, instead of give your attention to something that is more or less useless. So the ones who go, you dodge the bullet. You don't count that as loss. You count it as victory, because it means you're doing something right. It means you rightly filtering out the chaff, filtering out the dumpsters, filtering out the ones that have no importance or benefit, they have no benefit to you. So you're doing something right. So instead of sitting and counting that I did this and that one came and went, this one came and went, I must be the one doing too much. I must be the one. No, they're just not enough. You want to be someone who is not attainable to everyone, right? Not everyone should be able to have access to you. So when they come, I have already said this in one of my videos before, but I'm going to say it again. All right? Bentley does not redo their showroom because a broke man walked in and couldn't afford it. No. Bentley is actually a luxury brand of car that's made specifically for people in a particular pay bracket. It's made specifically for people who are high earners or top earners, top performers. It's not a car for someone who is on 100,000 a year. So when someone who's broke walks into a Bentley shop and cannot afford it, Bentley are not thinking about that. They probably didn't even notice that person because they probably couldn't even ask to be shown any particular car because they know they can't afford it. So why do you, as a woman, a whole woman, a queen, a goddess, why do you start rethinking your standards and the levels the moment a man walks in, a man encounters you and cannot meet your standards? You start thinking, oh, maybe I should, maybe I'm doing too much. Why? Let's forget about Bentley. Chanel is not going to reduce their prices. Heck, most of these luxury brands, they don't run sales at all, ever. Because again, they have built their brands and put it to a place where it's for a select few. It's for only those who can afford luxury. It's a brand. It's meant to be inaccessible, right? So to people who cannot afford it. So holding sales will in effect open up the brand to and make it susceptible to people who can't afford it, but the sale has brought them in, and that's what they do not want. So ask yourself again, what brand are you? What is your brand? Are you just for anyone who walks in? Are you going to rethink your standards or rethink your worth every time a man cannot meet it? Are you going to think, oh, maybe perhaps it's me who is in the wrong, perhaps it's me who is not doing something right? Is that the sort of brand you want? Or are you leveled up to a point where you know that it's a matter of time, that will not cut it, that's not what I want, that's not what I deserve better? And you say it and you believe it and you say what you want out your full chest and you stand on it, right? So let that man impress you. If he wants you, he'll impress you. If he doesn't want you enough to impress you, you have no business occupying that yourself with his thoughts or his presence or anything to do with him. And so when you say, well, he said if I do this, he'll do this. Again, that's not something you want to deal with. You're not dealing with a grown man who wants trade by barter, who asks you to do this, and then he'll do that. That's not impressing. That's trying to dictate the order of the relationship. He's trying to tell you that I am in charge. Is that something you're okay with? That he decides what happens. If you do this for me, I will do this. If you're moving with me, then I'll start providing for you. No, love, he won't. That's a trap. A man who's going to provide for you or care for you or do right by you is going to do it. All right? Hold on a second. I think I've got someone at the door. this video's gone quite long already, but what I'm going to say is this: learn from other people's mistakes. You do not have to make mistakes yourself to learn lessons. Listen to women's tales. Listen to the tales of women who went with men who said, do this and I'll do this. If you do this, I'll do this. Once you do this, I'll do this. You know, dating for prospects. Dating because, oh, it's got potential. Where did I land them? Very hot soup. All right? Very, very hot soup indeed. So you need to work with the now. Let his deeds show you, tell you, qualify him for you. Not his words. No. His deeds must always qualify him. If his deeds not match up or do not measure up, let him walk. Or you walk. I don't know why women don't think they can ghost men. You can ghost men just as they ghost you. So if it's not matching up, you don't need to. There's no agreement. There's no contract or pact signed. All right, you go. Well, you've met this man 3-4 days, 4 times, and you think, what, you owe him an explanation or a letter, say, explaining why you're leaving. No, ghost him, leave him alone. What are you spending? Listen, do not make the mistake of thinking you're going, I'm okay for potential. Sorry about that, guys. He has the potential. He has this, he has that. He says in 5 years' time. In 5 years? In 5 years? What are you going to be eating in that 5 years? Have you ever seen rent due and the landlord or the owner of the mortgage company takes potential for payment? Exactly. So potential is not going to feed you or your babies. Potential is not going to put the heating on in the house. Potential is not going to put food on the table. You need to see the deeds. All right? That being said, if you're watching this and you've not already follow, like, let me know. Always drop your comments in the comment section, like, share the live stream, and also turn on notifications because I am live. It's almost every day of the week. So thank you for watching. Thank you for interacting with the video, and follow and like for more. I will see you in my next video, which is tomorrow. Ciao.